Hello, everybody. Welcome to UFile's Your Taxes Your Way podcast. My name is Ida Celli. I'm your animator for today. And to speak about taxes, I have my colleague, Gerry Vitoratis. Hi, Gerry. How are you?
Not bad, Ida. How's everything?
Not bad, not bad. It's Thursday. The
Yeah,
weekend is coming.
and we're getting to the end of tax season. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, so all
Yes.
this fatigue is finally going to go away. We'll be able to sleep finally.
You think?
Uh, well, then corporate tax season starts. So for
Yes.
then we got our other season. But for everybody listening to us, the light is at the end of the tunnel. We're almost done. We're about to get our tax refunds.
All right. So today's subject, we will talk about in the budget of 2022 in last fall, the government talked about the Canada's Affordability Plan. So we will talk about the three main components of the plan, but you want to give us a little bit of feedback on what the program is about.
Yeah, so I mean, the purpose of the plan was essentially to counter or to help out Canadians who are suffering, and let's not kid ourselves, all of us are right now with the really rising inflation that we have currently in the marketplace. So, for example, when it comes to going to groceries, when it comes to purchasing clothing, when it comes to purchasing cars, for example, too. I mean, inflation is really affecting us. And what the government did with the affordability plan is essentially give us a few benefits in this case in order to help us better cope with this inflation that has really affected all of us right now.
Okay, so let's go into the first component, which
Mhm.
is doubling of the GST credit.
Yes. So what the government, so this is already done in this case. What the government did as of last year is to essentially double the GST credit that whoever was eligible for, whoever was entitled to, would get for the last two payments. So the government has essentially doubled the last two payments of the GST credit. Now the credit, of course, is a quarterly benefit that is paid by the federal government for anybody who has filed a tax return in the previous year and is below certain income thresholds. So, of course, the government is targeting lower income Canadians with this GST credit. Okay. And what the government essentially did with the affordability plan is to double the last two quarterly payments that were made at the end of 2022.
So for this case, you needed to file your 2021 tax return. Am I correct?
Yes, and that's basically that's how it works with the GST is that you have to file your tax return. So even those of you who are listening to us right now saying, "Hey, I'm still young, or I'm not really taxable. I don't have any income to declare." If you're 18 and above, you are eligible as long as you are below the income thresholds, as long as you file your tax return. And that's the key. What you mentioned there, Ida, is that you have to file your tax return in this case. So you are getting money that is tax-free money. The benefit is actually tax-free for those who are eligible just by simply filing your return. Even if you have no income to declare, it is still worthwhile because you're getting free money from the government. And on top of it, due to this affordability plan, the government doubled the last two payments. So, I mean, you're getting a bonus on top of it for the fact of filing your tax return. So, the important lesson here when it comes to the GST credit and the benefits we're going to see later on, the two other components, they're also going to require you to file your tax return. So the key is file. Even if you're not taxable, even if you have no income to declare, file your return in order to collect these benefits.
All right. So the second component is the Canada Dental Benefit. That's something new, right?
Yes, yes. So that's new. It started in 2022. Okay, and the purpose of the Canada Dental Benefit is for parents of children that are less than 12 years old that have incurred dental fees that were not reimbursed by either their private insurance plan, let's say with their employer, or by a government insurance plan, in this case under a government medical plan. Okay, now certain provinces do cover a lot of these dental fees for children that are less than 12. I know, for example, where we live in Quebec, Quebec will cover a lot of these dental fees for children that are 10 years old and below. Okay. But there are a lot of dental fees that there are some provinces where these dental fees are not covered because ordinarily dental fees are not covered under a provincial medical plan ordinarily. And for the provinces that do cover some of these dental fees, they don't cover everything. Okay, so that's the key here with the Canada Dental Benefit is that it gives a tax-free benefit to these parents who have incurred these dental fees for their children less than 12 and do not benefit from either a private insurance or from a government insurance that would reimburse them of those fees. Okay, and that's the purpose. That's the purpose of the benefit. Now, I'm reading this straight from our blog website, which is ufile.ca. Okay, on ufile.ca, we've written a detailed blog article on these three components that we're mentioning right now. We're going to post the link as well in the description. Okay, but just be aware that in order to be eligible for this benefit, which again I mentioned is tax-free, here's the criteria. And I'm reading it straight from our blog article. Number one, you must have dependents under the age of 12 at the beginning of the two benefit periods. Okay, so the government is actually going to give the benefits during two specific periods, which are between October 1st, 2022 and June 30th, 2023. And the second period will be July 1st, 2023 and June 30th, 2024. So those are the two benefit periods that the government will pay and reimburse the dental fees for your children that are less than 12. Okay, now there are though other criteria as well, including an income threshold that we can't go over, which we're going to look at now in a minute. So number one, your child must be less than 12 years old at the beginning of those periods. Now, for 2022, the government opened the application period as of December 1st, 2022. So if your child is below 12 as of December 1st, 2022, then you are eligible. Okay, or at least you have one of the eligibility criteria. Next, you must be receiving the Canada Child Benefit for your child. Okay, that's an important aspect as well. Next, you must file a 2021 tax return. Exactly what we mentioned before on the GST. You see now the importance of filing your return, okay, and also filing it on time, because in order for the government to process these applications for these new benefits, they must have a tax return already on file. Okay, so the key is file early, okay, and file your return. Next, your adjusted family net income is less than 90,000 for 2021. So whether you are a couple, whether you are a single parent family, your net income must be your combined net income must be below $90,000 to be eligible for this benefit. And this, of course, is 2021. Okay, your child so you've paid dental fees for your child during these benefit periods that I mentioned before, the two periods. Okay, and of course, your child in this case did not benefit or had access to a private health insurance. Okay, so for example, an employer that would offer you this private insurance, or your child was not covered by any government insurance in this case. Okay, so like I said, some provinces will cover some of these dental fees, but they don't. But even if you're in one of these provinces that cover the dental fees, they might not cover all of these dental fees. They cover some types, but not others. Okay, so that means that even in those provinces, you might be eligible for the dental benefit. So basically, just figure out if you paid something out of pocket and you're below 90,000 as a combined net income, then you're essentially eligible for this benefit. Okay, remember it's tax-free on top of it. Now, just to give everybody an idea of what the amounts that we can get as far as this benefit, of course, it all depends on your net income. Okay, so you could get up to $650 tax-free if your family net income is below $70,000. You could get up to $390 if your family net income is between 70 and 80,000, and then you can get up to $260 if your family net income is between 80 and 90,000. That's of course in each one of these benefit periods, which, as I mentioned, are two. Now, the key here is that you must apply for this benefit, and the way you apply for it is by going to My Account with a CRA. Okay, so the online portal of the CRA, which is My Account. You need to create an account. For those of you who don't have one, you must create an account there in order to apply for this benefit. And again, we keep saying this, Ida, that I've become like a salesperson for the government when it comes to these online portals, but I can't stress it enough how beneficial these portals are. Okay, because as you can see here, not only through that portal can you see everything that relates to your tax return, be it your RSP room, be it your TFSA room, be it any adjustments you want to do on your tax return and your previous year's notice of assessments. But now on top of it, it is the way to collect these tax-free benefits as well. So it's a complete no-brainer to create, if you don't have a My Account with the CRA, to create that account with the CRA. It is child's play to create the account. Go ahead, go on the website, which we provide the link, by the way, in our blog article at ufile.ca. Go ahead and click on it and create your account.
All right, so now we're going to go to the Canada housing benefit.
Yes, so this is a new benefit as well, a tax-free benefit, which in this case will be a one-time payment of $500 for any taxpayer who is what the government considers a low-income renter. Okay, so if you rent your property and you're below certain income thresholds, you would be entitled to this tax-free benefit, which is a one-time payment of $500. Okay, so now to be eligible for the benefit, you must meet the criteria, which again, I'm reading straight off our website. So again, ufile.ca. Do not hesitate to go to our website and gain access to that information. So number one, you must be at least 15 years old as of December 1st, 2022, meaning when you were able to actually apply for the benefit in this case. You were a resident of Canada in 2022. All right. You and your spouse have filed your 2021 tax returns. Again, the importance of filing your return. You see it again here, just like with the GST. Okay. And then from there, your family net, your adjusted net income would, if you're a couple, that would be your combined income. If you're single or a single so if you're a family in this case, whether it's a single parent family or a couple in this case, your net income must be below $35,000, and that's combined for a couple. Okay, and for single individuals, it would be $20,000 or less. So you can't go above those income thresholds. So you have to be below 35,000 if you're a family or a single parent family, or below $20,000 if you're single. Okay, in this case. And then from there, your rent represents at least 30% of what the government calls your net income in this case. Okay, so again, you have to apply to try to guess where you have to apply for this new benefit.
My account?
My account with the CRA. See again the brilliant program of the government. So you must apply through the My Account portal of the CRA, and of course you must prove to the CRA in this case that what I just mentioned before, that your rent represents at least 30% of your net income for the year. And just to go back a little bit on the Canada Dental benefit, of course, for the Canada Dental benefit, you must show proof that you paid for these dental fees to the government. So you must retain your receipts and provide them to the CRA in order to show them that you did incur dental fees for your child that's less than 12. So the key here is that you must apply now. For the housing benefit, time is of the essence because your deadline is actually March 31st of this year, which means we're recording this on the 23rd. We should be posting this on the 24th. Through either our YouTube page or through our podcast pages. Okay, our podcast page, which means you basically, as of this recording, you have a week to make the application for this benefit as long as you meet the criteria. So don't wait, don't delay. Make the application today.
Okay, but for the Canada housing benefit, not only do you need to meet the criteria, you need to show proof that you're renting an apartment.
Absolutely, of course, yeah, because remember that one of the criteria is at least 30% of your rent of your net income is dedicated to your rent. The only way you can show that is to show your lease, right? To prove to the government through your lease that effectively you are paying more than 30%, in this case, at least 30% of your net income to your rent. So yes, absolutely, you have to show proof of that. Just like with the Canada Dental benefit, you'll need to provide receipts to the CRA in order to show them that you did incur dental fees that were not reimbursed by either private insurance or by a government insurance in this case.
Oh, pretty good. So this covers pretty much the plan itself. So whether you have nil income or very low income, it is worth to file your tax return.
Yep.
Technically, it's almost a must.
Yes.
Just to be eligible for the GST, so on and so forth.
Yes.
Any other words of wisdom?
So just in general, just to mention that, again, everything that I read to all of you today is found on our website. So on ufile.ca, we have a detailed article about the Canada Affordability Plan and where to go to apply. We provide the links as well on where to go to apply. So you simply go to ufile.ca. You have a bunch of tabs at the top. Simply hover your mouse over tips and tools. A drop-down menu will appear and you'll see the option for the UFile blog. Click on it. We have the Canada Affordability Plan directly on our website. Not only do we have that, but we also have other blog articles, including tax update, for example, and other information that we provide to you related to taxes that will help you in optimizing your tax returns. So do not hesitate to simply go on our website and get the information that you need.
Okay, last thing, when is the filing deadline this year?
So the filing deadline this year is actually going to be May 1st, and the reason for that, ordinarily it's April 30th of every, of the following year, essentially. So for example, for 2022, it means ordinarily your deadline would be April 30th of 2023. But because April 30th falls on a weekend, which I believe is Sunday this year, that
Yes.
means that your deadline goes to the next weekday, which means Monday in this case. So May 1st is your deadline. But again, as you saw here, for example, if you are eligible for the housing benefit, file your return as soon as possible, and also, make your application as soon as possible, because you only have till March 31st. So time is of the essence. Not only that, I know a lot of you say, well, I've got a refund, so I could wait. I don't have to rush to do your tax return. But just remember, by doing that, that money's not in your pocket; it's in the government's pocket. So you've essentially given the government an interest-free loan. And just ask yourselves, would the government do that favor to you? And as we say, if there's a French expression that we say, asking the question is answering it. Okay, so there you go. All right, so at that point, do not delay. That money is better served in your pocket than in the government's pocket. So don't wait till May 1st, and don't, because a lot of times you'll also have nasty surprises on your return that you're not aware of until you actually start producing. So don't wait. File as soon as possible. Get your money today.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Gerry. Sorry about that. So thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
All right, thank you, everybody. Take care.